right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of Cultural Awareness Podcast. Man, thank you. Thank you for all the like out there that you guys have been giving to us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. And please go ahead and subscribe, man, so you don't miss anything that we have going on. That being said, we won't waste too much time today. We want to talk about relationship problem, right? Let's get into it. Everybody been talking about relationship problem recently, and I just want to talk about it on African aspect, or more like on a cultural aspect from someone coming from Africa, right? I saw a story, so I will first share the story, and then we can go ahead and obviously dissect the story a little bit more. So this is the story of a lady who got married to a man, right? She got married to a man, and how do I call it? I will call her Susan, and I will call the man Junior, right? So Susan get married to Junior how? Where they were only Junior that came to the wedding, and Susan family came to the wedding, but Junior family didn't come to the wedding, right? So they had their little wedding or whatever. And may I remind you, for the context of things in Africa, we have three marriage, right? You have the marriage that you do in front of the mayor or whoever, the public servant that signed the marriage certificate. That is what we call the white marriage, because white people are the one that brought that, oh, in order for this person to be my wife, you got to go ahead to court and sign the document. That is what, I'm not trying to be racist, but that is how they call it back home, the white marriage, the civil marriage, right? So is that one. So that is the first one. The second one is actually, that is the second one. The first one actually is the traditional marriage. The traditional marriage has to do with some ritual that they make you guys do, right? There are some drink, the palm wine that you guys have to drink, and eat the bitter colas and things like that. And bitter cola is also what you guys using to make the Coca-Cola, right? So it's sometimes red, sometimes a little bit white, sometimes yellowish, and it's very, very bitter, and you have to drink it with palm wine because palm wine is really, really sweet, right? They have the mixture of those, and then obviously they have ritual that goes through it, that they draw in the earth, that are you guys sure, right? Parent will ask, for example, a father will ask, for example, his daughter, like, hey, you saying that you love this man and you want to marry him. Are you sure I should drink this palm wine and eat this bitter cola? Because once it's sealed, I can never get it back. Because once I drink it and I eat it, it becomes part of me. There's no way I can ever reimburse it. So are you really sure you want me to go ahead and do this? My life is in your head now. And the girl is going to say yes. If she say yes, then the father was like, okay, so I'm going ahead and drink it. So both family, really, not two people, not three people. It's both family, the whole family of the young lady and the whole family of the young man are supposed to come together in order for them to have this ritual. And this is a bonding and a sealing. It's like a contract, and you seal it together through obviously ritual, and this is accepted as the first marriage. Now obviously you have like the white marriage, like I said, that is the second one, and the third one is optional. It's mostly for people that are religious, right? Because for example, Christian people would like to get married at church. That is the third marriage, but that is optional because there are some people that don't really believe in that church thing because they are more into traditional. So they will rather go ahead and have the traditional marriage, which is the most known and most accepted one, and then obviously the white marriage, the civil marriage, which is the one you do at the court in front of the mayor and things like that. Back home, it's in front of the mayor. Here, it's in front of whoever does the marriage or celebrate the marriage, right? So this lady is writing because when they were having their marriage, they were mostly her family and the man, right? And they didn't do the traditional marriage. They only went ahead and did the civil, or what we call the white marriage. So they went ahead, signed the paperwork and everything, and she went and started living with the guy. But then as she's spending more time, which is why we ask you ladies, when you are getting into a relationship, not just ladies and gentlemen, whenever you guys are getting into a relationship with somebody, please go ahead. take the time to know the person. It's not just about fucking. It's not just about food. Oh, it's not just about, oh, when we're in bed, he or she does this and that I really like. No, it's not all about that. It's also about family. You need to understand where the other person is coming from. And this lady's gonna find out that her husband and his own father, like Peter and his father, don't get along. And in the meantime, she had the first kid, the second kid, the third, and the fourth, and they were having problems to a point where she had to leave her marriage for like 2 years and go back to her parent house because the man started, I guess, minimize downplaying her and things like that, and he was very unfaithful. She didn't have a problem with unfaithfulness, but he was disrespectful to her family or to her parent. She didn't tolerate that, so she went back home, and then the man came and said, please, please. Obviously she came back again. But the problem is this: the problem is, while all that is happening, the father of the young man died. Junior, like I said, his father passed away. And when his father passed away, he refused to go to the funeral, right? So he didn't go there. Okay, so because he didn't go, he told his wife not to go, but she still was like, it was your father, and I don't want whatever karma or bad karma that was in between you guys to touch my kid. So she went ahead and she went anyway. The guy got pissed and everything, and the guy also was very pissed. And a couple of weeks later, he had a car accident. Because he had a car accident, they went, in Africa, we have a way of looking why things are happening to you. If you have someone that keep having bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, they will go ahead. And we have these people that, they know how to look into it mystically. They will go ahead and look and see what is really happening to you and what is that. And when they look for this guy, and he said that the spirit of his father is the one hunting him because they were not getting along while the father was alive. So he need to go in the village so they can clean him, so they can clean his soul. They have ways of cleaning people and taking all that bad negative energy out of them so that they can become pure again. And the guy was like, no, 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 no. He kept saying no, he's not going to do that. And next thing you know, he doesn't even know what he did, and he's now in jail. You see what I'm saying? He's not in jail. And so it's still following him everywhere he's going. And the lady's writing because she's saying that should she go ahead and take the kid to the village and do the second ritual, or should she not, and things like that. And the guy is very opposed to it, and she doesn't really understand what is this bad blood that he really had with his dad and things like that. So what should she do? Okay, this is my humble opinion, right? Number one is, based on what the comment that some of the elder were making is, even though they went through the civil marriage, she's not technically married traditionally, so it will not impact her kid because there were no the civil marriage, anybody can divorce on that one, the traditional one, you don't, there's no way of getting rid of it. Once you marry and you go traditionally, like, no, there's no way of getting out of it because it's some ritual that you guys do to seal both family, that both family are forever linked, right? So right there, they're saying that she doesn't have to worry about the negative spirit of her father-in-law touching her kid because the kids are not linked yet. The father-in-law never really went through the ritual with them and things like that. It's only when the father, both family goes through the ritual that you have to be scared that it will impact the kid. But at this point, the young lady is still scared and she doesn't know what to do. My recommendation is this, because you need to use everything that you do in life to serve you as a lesson, right? To serve you, like, maybe next time I shouldn't do that. When you move with somebody, you say, I love you, you love you, right? It's not sufficient. In Africa, again, I'm always going to say this: you don't marry because of love. You don't need to love somebody to marry them. That is the biggest mistake that people keep making. You marrying somebody because of love. Love is like fire. Fire always end up what going down. You know what I mean? Find a fire whenever you take a match and you turn on that fire. Yeah, at the beginning it's sparkling very well and everything is working fine. Then you always shut down, right? Or shut off. So that is why they say number one, you don't marry out of love because the face of the person you're seeing today, the beauty that they have today, is not the same beauty they are going to have 20 to 30 years from now. In that case, you don't marry also somebody because of their beauty, because of, oh, they have a nice booty or anything like that, or because they are good in bed. Because get what? Health issues start happening down the line. Like when this person turns 50, 60, what do? Do you leave them at that age because they are no longer performing the way they used to? No. So again, sex is not the reason why you get married. So if sex is not the reason why you get married, or it's not the main reason why you should marry somebody, uh, food, maybe they are good cooking, that is debatable. But if sex is not, their beauty is not, and love is not, then what is? There's only one thing that is compatibility. How do you call it? Oh my god, I'm going blank, right? You have to see if you are compatible with somebody. If you are compatible, then yes, that is what should link you guys together. You guys have got to find a common ground. Like, yes, I might not like the fool this person, but I know that this person is going to get me right, and I'm going to get them right. This person know what button to push on me for me to do XYZ, and I also know what button to push on them. Like, it's not about love. Love then at that point will, guess what, grow as you guys are living together, working together, because you guys are compatible. You need to figure out who am I compatible with instead of figuring out who am I in love with. You no, don't marry based on love, because then when that person no longer do what you want them to do, you find them boring and then you leave them. That is not the point of getting married. The point of love, of getting married, is not love. If you're in love, don't get married. Then that is the wrong person to get married to. You know what I mean? And in Africa, this is for men. They always recommend men, if you're going to go ahead and marry out of love, make sure that you are not the one loving. Make sure that the woman is the one that loves you. Because when a woman loves you, she's going to go to hell for you. Like, she's going to do everything possibly that she can for you. In that case, you might not marry her because you love her, but you marry her because she loves you. You know what I mean? But not the other way around. Because a man that is in love is clouded. They don't make good decisions. At least that's what we were told. So if you want to make good and sound decision, if you want, and also remember, male in most cases are not the one divorcing. Usually it's the woman that divorced. So because they say at some point that, oh, he became boring, I wasn't happy anymore, I want to go out, he doesn't want to, and things like that. No, you chose it. Marriage is a contract. You chose to marry that person. You need to go ahead and figure out what is wrong with you, because this person has always been like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe if they were not, they were fronting, they were trying to please you. And after all that sacrifice, you're going to go ahead and leave them? No. I think that before you marry somebody, ask the proper question. Even after you guys are done having sex, you still need to ask questions. Like, if this happened in life, what will you do? If that happened in life, what will you do? How will we proceed if we have XYZ problems? How should we go? Should we see my family? Should we see your family? Or should we not see neither? Because whenever family get involved with issue, guess what? That marriage is for sure gone. It will never get back together. You will never get back together whenever you start sharing problem with family. Why? Because each family is going to go ahead and pick up their side. They are always going to, my family is always going to pick my side. Just like my wife family is always going to pick her side. So how do you guys get married and make sure that your problem, of like your couple's problem, don't go in your family? You have an agreement about it. You talk about it. You know what I mean? These are not things that you figure out when you are married. You figure out these things whenever, before you get married. And that is how, ladies and gentlemen, you will find the rightful partner. Stop looking at love, stop looking at the asses, stop looking at, they are pretty and things like that. Yes, attraction matters, but trust me, compatibility matters more. Compatibility, sorry for that. Compatibility matters even more. If this is the first time you are listening to Cultural Awareness Podcast, please feel free to go ahead and leave a comment and share the podcast. And if you have your own story that you would like us to share on this podcast, please feel free to go ahead and send it to us, and we will gladly publish it here. That being said, God bless. Peace.